Welcome to Friday night here on the Place to Be Reviews. I know you guys are not used to this. It is. I've got my audio open on the other window too. That was distracting. Tony, it's just the two of us. And as I mentioned off air, I should have, if I had more time, I should have built an intro and used our faces like a meme, and then done the old school, just the two of us, not the shitty I get fucked by Dwayne Martin, Will Smith version, but the Bill Withers version.
Yes.
How you doing, bro? How you doing, brother?
It's the Pinky Toe remix.
Oh no. Is that going to be another red table talk for Will? Is like, Jay, sit down. Sit down, please. Will, we need to have a talk.
You know, it's crazy because like so many of us would love to be in the position of Will Smith where you can practically go out there and get any female you want. Like I can name about 1,000 basic chicks right now off the top of my head that are far more beautiful and kinder than Jada Pinkett Smith.
Yeah.
She was okay looking in Men in Black, but still not really my type. He could have had any girl, and like like someone who sells their mom's house, took the worst path possible. And it's mind blowing because it's like, again, Will Smith was on top of the world at one point. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, they always had dimes on that show.
Yep.
Dimes you never even heard from again. Like,
you tell me he couldn't have had Nia Long in her prime, bro. Like,
dude,
Nia fucking Long, like Smoke Show on Friday, like everything. She's gorgeous. Like,
yeah. You know what's funny? She actually played 2 roles in that show. She first made an appearance as Will Smith's like prom. It was the episode with Queen Latifah where he ended up calling her fat or whatever and said, "That ain't my girl. We're just friends," and pissed her off. So then at the end of the episode, they're both at the prom, and before they make up and become friends, Will's there with his date, which was Nia Long playing another character. And they'd given her long hair or whatever. And then the next season, they brought her in as Lisa. So I'm just saying, he definitely could have had her, you know?
Oh, yeah. That's between her. I mean, dude, what was the actress in Men in Black that, the first one, was it Linda Cardellini? Was that, you know who I'm talking about? The chick that worked in the morgue?
I didn't think that was Linda Cardellini. Let me check on that.
I can't think of her name, but she was like, dude, she was hotter than Jada Pinkett Smith. Like, I mean, the chick in the third one that like took the shape
Linda
of the fucking,
Florentino.
Linda Florentino. Yeah, she was hot. Like, it's like, dude, you can't tell me that you could. And I'm not advocating for infidelity, but I mean, bro, Jada just didn't get like this overnight. Like, look at their kids. Look at how fucked up their kids are, bro. Like, Jaden and Willow, like one thinks the girl thinks she's a boy and the boy thinks he's a girl. I mean, it's fucking, they're weird. And I don't know, man. I don't think Will. I don't want to blame her, but I want to blame her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you got to blame him too because, like,
he let it happen.
Smith is a product of a weak father.
Oh,
I mean,
God, yeah.
Yeah, and it's sad. Like, especially, I know a lot of you haven't seen Jersey Girl, which I think is Kevin Smith's finest movie. We need to watch Party That sometime since so
Jersey
many
Girl?
haven't seen it. Yeah. Like, I don't know if you saw it. I know Draven hasn't seen it. I don't think Vinny's seen it. And George Carlin's in it. Like, yeah, Ben Affleck's in it. Not huge on him. But yeah, it's a very beautiful movie. It's older now, too. Like, the little girl's grown up by now, obviously. What up, Gap After Dark? Yeah. Anyway, fucking lost my train of thought. I don't remember why I brought up fucking Jersey Girl now.
I was gonna say
Will Smith is in the movie. Like
he is?
the movie is almost centered around Will Smith, even though he only makes a 5-minute cameo. Okay, so Ben Affleck is married to Jennifer Lopez. It shows them meet, they get together, they're living that New York life. Ben Affleck's a public relations, he speaks for stars, whatever. This is taking place in the 90s, and that kid from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is about to star in his first movie. Unfortunately, Jennifer Lopez dies during childbirth, and she's given birth to their child. She literally has the baby and then just closes her eyes and doesn't wake back up. She had an aneurysm and it popped while she was giving birth.
Was the kid at least a Jedi? If she went out like Sadme,
she the Force is definitely with the kid. So Will Smith now is all alone with this kid. He has no mom to help. He's got to do a PR, a big press conference for Will Smith. He's frustrated. The baby's puking. None of the women there are necessarily maternal. They're like, I don't know anything about baby growth. So he goes out there. Will Smith is running late. The baby's crying. Baby powder exploded all over his suit, and it looked like he was doing blow. And the reporters are giving him shit, and he completely snaps on Will Smith, who's not there yet. He's like, who the hell is he? He's a no-name actor from TV. Ba, 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 ba. What, he had 2 records. He's a shitty rapper, this, and that, because he was so frustrated. And as a PR agent, that's suicide to your career.
Yeah.
So he ends up having to move back to Jersey to live with his dad, George Carlin, and Will Smith goes on to basically become the biggest movie star in the world for the next decade. So then towards the end of the movie, Will Smith comes and sits down next to him just by chance. And they have a very sweet conversation, Will Smith playing himself and Ben Affleck, about what it means to be a father. And even with all these accolades, the best thing, it's not a chick flick. George Carlin doesn't star in chick flicks. But they have a very heartfelt conversation that you can be the biggest movie star in the world or just some no-name guy from Jersey trying to chase success. The most successful thing they'll ever do is be fathers, And it was a very sweet scene. So to see what came of Will Smith's children, to take the long route around is, it's sad. It's sad.
Yeah, that's, the fact that his career was like he ruled the world for a minute, as far as actors go. He really did. And I mean, you had Independence Day, Men in Black, and all, wow, even Wild Wild West was shitty, but then, it's still, then what else? Men in Black 2. He was in the third one too.
Yeah. He was up until that reboot with Chris Hemsworth and Valkyrie.
Yeah. So, I mean, Hitch. I mean, the guy, I Am Legend, which was a remake of the Omega Man.
iRobot. There was that weird I Am Legend and iRobot was like around the same time. And I was
yeah. I didn't like iRobot.
Yeah, I wasn't big on that either.
I didn't really care for it. I was like, it's racist. The robots are all white.
He's like, can a robot write a symphony? Can a robot paint a masterpiece? And the robot was like, can a pistachio?
That's those robots had what we like to call verbal diarrhea in the industry.
Yes. I Am Legend wasn't that great yet. Like, I heard the book is a lot better.
Yeah.
He the book is a lot better as far as the whole realization that he is the vampire to the vampire. Like they're all scared of him. Like he is
Yep.
the monster. He's the only one left, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they I want to see the original Omega Man. I've never
I haven't.
I've never never seen it.
No, I didn't mind that movie with him and Jaden Smith. I only saw it once, but when they were like their ship crashed in the woods and it was up to Jaden
Mhm.
Smith to
After Earth.
After Earth. And I even, they shouldn't have named it the Karate Kid, but as far as reboots go, Karate Kid wasn't horrible.
Never watched it.
As far as reboots go, it wasn't horrible. Jackie Chan did a good job. They just should have named it something different, but then I guess Will Smith wouldn't have gotten producer credits on Cobra Kai. But because he does, he makes money with every
How
Cobra Kai string.
how does he that fucks me up, that he's got a producer's credit on that.
Yeah,
I'm that is, man, that's got me fucked up. Um damn. I oh why
cool.
what you have not really contributed anything to that fucking show. Like nothing,
Good
you
stuff.
know.
Good stuff's gonna have my back real quick. Jersey Girl ain't a chick flick, right? Good stuff. It's either yes or I've never seen the movie.
He's like, you're on your own, bro. You're on your own. You're on your own. I've never seen Jersey Girl.
She is the sweetest little girl in that movie.
I've never
Oh,
seen.
see, me and
He said,
good stuff.
yep, he said no.
Yeah, we're on Team Jersey. George Carlin ain't in chick flicks.
No,
And
I don't see
Jennifer
George
Lopez died, Gap, so it's not Benifer.
Carlin. It's just but
And you get a sweet shot of Liv Tyler's cleavage.
oh, is she the girl he like falls for or something after his wife dies?
Basically, yeah. Yeah.
Well, at least she's fucking hot. Like Liv Tyler was a smoke show.
Yeah.
That was like
It
my
was
favorite part about Aerosmith videos was Alicia Silverstone and Liv Tyler when I was like 13, 14 years old. God.
crazy.
Yep.
Okay, Steve, I know certain people on our panels aren't big on Aerosmith or Steven Tyler.
I like Aerosmith. I don't care. I like their old stuff, man.
Well, my brother, he used to manage a movie theater in Massachusetts, and Steven Tyler would come in sometimes. He knew my brother, so he would give him a call. Hey, Jay, I want to come down, watch this movie, whatever. And my brother would section off a theater for him. And like, dude, my brother got to watch a couple of the prequel series movies before they even debuted because he managed the theater. They would get him in and he'd fucking smoke a bowl in the theater and watch the fucking Star Wars movies. But he would set up a private theater for Steven Tyler, have a bathroom sectioned off, whatever, and Steven Tyler could come in with his current family and watch the movies. But something that I thought was really sweet was the Lord of the Rings. It might have been the first movie. I think it was, but it may have been, Two Towers or something. But they have all the promotional posters and art. Steven Tyler came in. I think it was After Hours or whatever. And my brother told me he was just like coming out of the theater after the movie. It wasn't one of the Lord of the Rings. It was whatever he went to see. But there was the Lord of the Rings poster and there was like a big picture of Liv Tyler on it, and he just like admired it for a second and kind of caressed his daughter's cheek because, yeah, obviously they were close. When they found out about each other, when Liv Tyler realized that was her dad, and they finally met. They became real close. So I just thought that was sweet. He was just looking at his little girl on this movie poster and was proud of her.
That is fucking cool. I mean, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yeah, she was good in those movies too. You know, aesthetics aside, she was good in those. The Lord of the Rings, the trilogy.
It's beautiful, dude. Beautiful in those movies. Good stuff. Have a good night, man. Enjoy the
brother.
boys.
Enjoy it, man. Have a great night. Good stuff. My editor extraordinaire. Speaking of the boys, should we check in on our boys? See how they're doing?
Diarrhea. Yeah.
I said diarrhea like 5 minutes ago.
I'm retarded.
Jesus. And I'm the one that's fucking baked. I just ate my second edible.
I'm retarded, but in the good way, YouTube.
This is some battle.
Ooh,
This is some battle. Hi, I'm ethnic.
I like it though.
damn.
See, he likes it.
Dude, this one's getting brutal.
It's getting brutal like the morning wood.
I'm not gonna say what it's getting.
And Brutal's got his
Oh,
Brutal's picture is him with the gender swap, like the face
No.
app thing.
You are not pinning Athena that way.
Yeah.
That was a power slam too when she caught her like that.
Yeah.
For the people in our chat
this is-
watching, you
out
know,
of the
this is
handful
what's
of actors
going
I've
on
seen
on
on the
Draven's stream.
Wrestle.
Yep, we're fucking
Y'all are
Draven
stoned.
them right now. Anime night just dipped out.
Peace, anime
This
night.
looks like they're
Anime
working
night's
real
coming
close,
over
man.
here.
Real
I'm
solid.
not stoned, Nano Reaper, not yet. I only
I
smoke
am.
when my neck is really hurting.
Hurts.
I
You know
am.
what else? Hey, you could
I've
tell
got-
she's
I took
having
a couple
got-
edibles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she's
I've got
comfortable.
like
There's no pressure.
herniated
Yeah,
discs
no
and
WWE
shit. So when
bullshit
the pain becomes
It's
unbearable,
not Vince
I
McMahon
might
being
take a
like,
little
I
puff,
wanna see
read a
your
little
cooter.
edible.
Put her in
Oh,
another
we
slot
all
bar.
want-
Gap is stoned.
Yeah,
Put
my
her in
man.
another slot bar.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
went.
Let's
I
put some-
like I said, before we started, I lifted for about an hour and then I smoked a joint
we go.
and fucking decided to. I was like, all right, you know, we were like, oh, we're talking about streaming.
Nice.
I fell asleep in my recliner playing Madden for a minute.
Nice.
I sent you the picture, the video of everything I set up right on the shelf there. I got my
Yeah,
old school
yeah.
stereo. I got the VCR cables. First video cassette I put in was Boys in the Hood.
Like puts out.
I
That's
put,
awesome.
yeah, dude. The old one I recorded, it fucking still
That's what we
works.
call-
What
we
up,
call it the
Frankie?
mug
Oh
bag.
shit. Yeah, Frankie,
And they are
Etep
known
was
for
talking
making, like,
shit. He
famous
called
people
Vinny
lose right away.
ethnic. I told him
Yeah.
that's not okay.
Oh.
Ow.
I told him
I don't know
that's
who
not
got the
okay.
Worst end of that.
Not
just, you know,
okay.
So, yeah, dude, that's awesome. Dude, I miss those days, man. Like the days of Boys in the Hood and
Yeah.
like just movies meant so much more back then when you had to adjust the tracking to watch them.
I got no, dude. I honestly don't smoke that much, Nano. I don't, not anymore. I'll roll a joint and it'll last me a week now. It's more edibles than anything else. I hit my pen when I'm sitting here, but yeah, it's edibles now, man, for the most part. I just enjoy that more. I do, and I know I don't ever smell. So yeah, and yeah, I my shirt has a good message on it for everybody out there in the fucking chat. But what's up, man? Dude, what the fuck were we talking about?
So, yeah, we were talking about fucking Boys in the Hood and watching on VCR and having everything set up in your office.
Oh yeah, dude. I got the VCR. I got the cables from the shop today. I bought the Star Wars Special Edition on VHS. Tony called him ethnic. I'm throwing you under the bus, Tone.
Hey, I'm not saying they put basil on their turkey. Maybe that is what I'm saying. I don't know.
I got to test the record player out though on that
Yeah.
sound design. I haven't. I know the cassette deck needs a little bit of work. That's one of those dual-headed
There's
ones.
so much more warmth on records and cassettes. That's one thing you lose going digital is just the warmth of analog.
I've
Like
got the
you-
record player upstairs. You know, I've showed you that one. We bought that Victrola. I've got upstairs in the dining room.
Things
which is
aren't
nice.
supposed to be too perfect, you know, and that's something you kind of lose with digital. Like even, in movies and stuff, when you watch stuff like back then compared to now, some of that analog, like, look at digital distortion, dude. That sounds awful, but you hear analog distortion, you get the grunge era of the 90s, It's warm, it sounds good, and same thing with movies. You have a bit of, like, I don't like 4K is okay for some things, but I don't mind there being a little distortion on my screen. I don't mind a little fuzziness in the tape. It just adds a certain warmth to the movies that you don't get nowadays. They're too clean.
Yeah, and some of the stuff, the older stuff, it doesn't hold up in 4K, by comparison, just because the difference in the quality of the VFX and everything now. So it looks better in its original form, and I prefer the grainy type. And talking about speaking on that about horror, that's one thing I like about the Friday the 13th films that were Paramount up to part 8. After that, when New Line took over, they lost that 80s grit they had to them, if that makes sense. They just looked better that way, shot in that old style. And you had Jason Goes to Hell, Jason X, and then Freddy vs. Jason, and then the 2009 ones. Those right there, they didn't look like Friday the 13th movies. They didn't. It's not supposed to be that clean. If you want to do a modern one, the way you need to shoot it is the way that they did Robert Rodriguez did those Grindhouse movies. Or Rob Zombie. I'm not advocating for Rob Zombie style of filmmaking, but that dirty style, that grimy, like, it just looks greasy and that look to it, and that works better with that style, like a slasher style.
It's like Star Wars. Like, we're at the point now where the original trilogy is aging better than the prequel trilogy, not in story wise, but effects wise. Like, digital was becoming prominent during the prequel, and you have all those weird, like, side swipes to change scenes, and just some of the animation looks really outdated now. Some of the CGI does on the prequels compared to you turn on the original, and it still looks good. It looks how it always has looked. And I don't know if that makes sense or not. It's just like, you've got movies that are like 20 years older that are aging better because one is analog and one is digital.
Well, look at Yoda in the original trilogy as a puppet compared to in the prequels as CGI. Okay. That right there tells you everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he didn't look anywhere near as good in the prequels, but I do like the lightsaber duel between him and Dooku, and then I like the fight with him and Palpatine. I do. I like the prequels though. I always have.
Palpatine beat his ass, dude. Like, come on, Yoda.
Yes, he fucking did. Palpatine fucking just wrecked his ass. No, that was good. The prequels, and like I said, what they lack in acting quality and dialogue, they make up for in world building. What up, Scrambles? Hail, brother. The world building in those, and the worlds and the areas that they showed that we hadn't seen before, that was dope as hell. Like, it really was, man. Like Geonosis, the arena, was it Utapau? We went to I loved seeing like Coruscant. There's so much. I wish we would have got more inside the Jedi Temple, like seeing more of the area. Like, it was a tease. I mean, absolutely was. I think people say Jake Lloyd was cringy. Well, motherfucker, he's a kid. Like, what do you want? He was a child. Like, and it wasn't fans that bullied him. It was in Ahmed Best. It was the fucking media. It was the media. And go ahead, bro.
No, I really liked, like, when they were chasing the bounty hunter in Attack of the Clones, and not only are they on Coruscant, but you get to get down, deep into there. You get on the streets of Coruscant and get a better look at the planet, because it was always so cool looking, like this planet that is one big city,
Yeah.
I've got to say it real quick. Nano Reaper, we need to put Jack Murphy's beard on Rob Zombie. We need to. He asks everyone to stare at his wife's tits. It's like, dude, what are you trying to tell us? It's one thing when you're on stage with White Zombie back in 1994. It's another thing now. It's a little weird. Like, okay, from a distance and the fucking at a rock concert, you're in a certain environment, and yeah, it's like woo, kick ass, rock and roll, naked chicks. But dude, it's this Paddington Bear remake. I don't need to see Sherry Moon's tits, dude.
I've seen him in concert 3 times. Great fucking stage show, but yeah, I don't need Sherry Moon Zombie's tits anymore.
Yeah.
That shit ended about 15, 16, 17 years ago. Yeah, I'm done. Back to you were talking about Star Wars and the VFX and stuff. Jar Jar Binks, why? Okay, not the best character at all. I do have an unopened one back here, which I'm going to open on Tommy's stream Tuesday night. And the bounty hunter that Anakin and Obi-Wan were chasing through Coruscant, I have that figure as well. That's Zam Wessel. Zam Wessel was there, and it was a shapeshifter, but the actress was I can't remember the actress's name, but she was kind of hot. The chick that played Zam. It was like that one female Jedi that they only show her getting killed on that really colorful planet, Ayla Secura. That actress is a fucking smoke show, and she made me have a thing for goddamn Twi'leks after that. I was like, what the? I felt like Sal.
Yeah.
I had a thing for Twi'leks after that.
Didn't they show Ayla Secura a little more? Like
they showed her
scenes.
Yes, yeah, she was in a couple scenes, but that was her like that was her death was the most prominent, and that was like unfair to the character.
See, that's one reason I did like the Clone Wars animated series. Like whether it should be canon or not is one argument, but seeing all these cool personalities in the background and wanting to know more, but you only have 2 hours to tell this story, you know? Yep. So you don't get to really dive deep into them. That's what the Clone Wars was good for, because it really dug deep and you got to know these characters better. So then when you go back and watch, now I to this day question Ahsoka, and I don't think Anakin should have ever had an apprentice. I don't like that. If you were gonna do that, it should have happened in the movies, you know.
Yeah, not in cartoon.
Yeah, being able to go back and look at some of these characters after watching the Clone Wars and know more about them, it really does add a little more to the movie, you know? It's just, again, it's not necessary to enjoy the movies, but it's like in a video game, in Breath of the Wild, if you've played throughout the entire Zelda series, and then you notice all these cool little Easter eggs and things that pay off for being a fan. And it's kind of the same thing here. You know people's stories a little more. I don't know. It's just, not to get off on a side tangent, but it does, in the right context, the Clone Wars really did add something to the movies.
It did. And what I've seen of the Clone Wars, I did like. I did dig like Plo Koon. Like I liked Plo Koon. I liked Size A10. The background Jedis were very cool, and you did get more of them in the animated series, which was cool because those characters were like they deserved to be more than just background fodder. The most prominent scene those cats got was in Revenge of the Sith when Palpatine killed him. And Kit Fisto. Kit Fisto's he got in on the battle in the Geonosis arena. He got a couple scenes in there. He got a little bit of shine. What up, Keemon Bell and Hicks Villain and Manliness and Draven.
Kit Fisto deserved a better death, or at least a more prominent death.
Well, okay. In the novelization, his death is wicked. Like he dies with that smile on his face. Palpatine, they describe his head rolling, and I think it landed on Palpatine's desk. It was I listened to a video like a couple years ago, and And Star Wars Theory actually read that part of the novelization. I was like, damn, because he was talking about it was Kit Fisto, Size A10, Mace Windu, and was it Plo Koon? No, what? No, it wasn't Plo Koon. Who the fuck? Who was the other one that was with them in that scene? Tony,
I don't remember.
All right, hang on. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up now. Let's see. Hang on, because no, I'm not a robot. When I have my fucking VPN on, goddamn, it always makes me verify before I go to the Google page. Let's see. What do we want here? Who were the Jedi that went to? I can't remember one of them. Let's see. So we had Aegon Kolar. Aegon Kolar. Yeah, it was Aegon. I have that action figure too. I have all of them that were in on arresting Palpatine. I even have size A10. That dude, I bought a lot of the prequel dude, the prequel figures are dope as fuck. Like I even have Rick Ollie, Padme's pilot. I've got Captain Typho, the chief of security.
Did you have Luminara and Dolly?
I don't. I need to get her. She's one of the ones I don't have. It's not that like, well, I can't say it's not easy to find, but when I was shopping I didn't see too many that came across. What up, Courtney? But no, there was a deleted scene with her in the like meditation chamber in the Jedi Temple from Revenge of the Sith.
Do you know what her fate was?
I can't remember.
Well, like, she died or whatever. Oh, okay, a lot of the people, they didn't know who was alive and dead after Order 66,
She survived, didn't she?
I think she survived.
I thought she did.
But later she was killed, and they didn't know that. Nah. Ezra, what was Ezra's master's name? It was something with a K. The dude who Freddie Prinze Jr. Played.
Oh, fuck, hang on.
Anyway, right after he had taken right after he had taken Ezra on, he was like, I was an apprentice when Order 66 happened. I'm not really qualified to be your master. I shouldn't be training you. And he wanted to take Ezra to Luminara, and they felt her presence. He could feel Luminara. So
Kanan Jarrus.
Kanan Jarrus, yes. Kanan. So he could feel Luminara, So he takes Ezra there, and it ends up being a trap. The Empire killed Luminara, and her head had been in this thing for like years now, and they were using her head to bait Jedi in and kill them.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and that's one thing I'll give Disney props for. Like, that was a crazy fucking storyline, dude. Like, her rotting skull was still emanating the Force and bringing Jedi in. They could feel her presence. Yeah, dude. Shitty into her. Shitty end.
Damn.
Yeah. And this was on like Disney XD. You see her rotting skull, dude.
I remember because, like, okay, when that show was airing, I wasn't into it.
Yeah,
I watched a little. I wasn't. I like the movies and shit. Obviously, I still watch the prequels and the original trilogy at that. But I and then what? Because that was like 2008. No, that was after the Clone Wars.
The Star Wars Rebels was basically the first thing Disney did with Star Wars, if I'm not
okay, so that's post 2012.
And yeah, I was like, there are only 4 seasons of Rebels, and it intersects with Rogue One. Like, after 2 or 3 seasons, Rogue One came out, and then they did their last season. So,
all right.
Yeah, dude, I was excited for Star Wars at that point. I'm like, finally, we're going to end up getting the sequel trilogy. So then Star Wars Rebels comes out. So I'll be honest, the first season starts a little slow, picks up, and then the second season, dude, that was just 0 to 100. Like when the second season ended, you're like, holy shit, this is really good. But that's where it peaked. And then the third season, and they bring in Darth Maul, which I'm tired of Darth Maul. Like, he used to be one of the most fascinating characters.
Yes.
And then the fourth season, they started all the time travel shit, and it's like, all right, this fell off the rails.
I loved Maul in the Clone Wars. I liked seeing Dathomir and what was his brother's name? Savage Opress.
Yeah.
The way they went with the Night Sisters kind of preying on them, which I thought was like kind of fucked up. But I dug it, you know what I mean? It was like kind of like, oh, okay, shit, they're not like the top of the food chain, you know, like the Night Sisters kind of prey on them a little bit and use, you know. But I dug that, and I liked seeing more of Count Dooku because he's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
And honestly, I thought it was really good how they translated him in the Clone Wars series, because that's a tall order, man. You had fucking Sir Christopher Lee, and that is really what made me like that character. I know people are thinking, but he was such an idiot. He didn't see that he was being used by Palpatine. And I think he, in his mind, and the novelization and shit may say more in the Clone Wars show, but I haven't made it all the way through the series, but it was part hubris in his head, maybe because he wasn't full Sith, that he thought he wasn't, you know.
They were blinded by greed. Like, he even outright told Obi-Wan Palpatine's entire plan and was like, join me and together we'll destroy. Because that's the thing with the Sith. They're so busy trying to betray each other for power. It's just, I'd say that surprised look before Anakin cut his head off was more a fuck, he got me before I could get him. You know, because Dooku, you know, was doing what needed to be done, but he wasn't really faithful to Palpatine either. He would he exactly what Palpatine did to Plagueis. He would have snuck in and slit Palpatine's throat in his sleep if he could have, you know.
Yeah, Palpatine fucking like massacred Plagueis too, like in his sleep, like he got him drunk. And he fucking like force lightning. I hit him with force lightning, I think. I know he used. I'm pretty sure he used force, because I listened to the novelization, but it was a long fucking time ago, which was really good. What up, Vinny? They brought. Yeah, I saw that scene in Solo. Jesus Christ, I said that 3 times fast. With Darth Maul, which it was fucking utterly useless. Like, that whole movie was fucking useless, though. That movie was terrible. And Alden Ehrenreich aside, Kira aside, the writing, but they reshot 80% of that. That's why it was so expensive, and that's why it's the most expensive flop they had. And did you ever watch that, Tony? Did you watch Solo?
No. I saw parts, and I heard about what happens in the movie. But I've been done since The Last Jedi, man.
I watched it twice. I watched it once by myself, and then I was like, I'm done with this. And then the wife and kid were like, well, let's check it out. I'm like, please don't. Like, oh, just watch. I'm like, all right. So I watched it with them, and I was like, that doesn't make sense. The second time around, it's like, that doesn't make sense. That's stupid. We don't need to know the origin of his blaster. And it's like the dice, like the dice that were so important to give to Leia. Like, he got those from Kira, you know, Khaleesi. Yeah. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ.
And I hated that they had them all and speak like Chewbacca to Chewbacca. It's like, dude, you don't. No one has ever done that in Star Wars, and for a reason. But I mean, it's just, that's the least of it anyway. The thing was littered with it. Look at The Force Awakens when Han dies and Leia runs past Chewie to hug Rey, who she's never seen before. Like,
Yeah.
It's really, God, it's such a tragedy what happened there.
No,
I imagine getting honey dicked after 40 years of waiting.
oh,
You don't have
yes.
to imagine.
Solo's death, like Han Solo's death, was what the whole movie just deconstructed him. So I just it was ridiculous. And Finn was the worst. Like, what's his John Boyega? You know, he was all pissed and going off the handle about Star Wars, and very well he should have, because his character should have been who Rey was. Or and honestly, if it was written well, why not both? You could have given us 2 new Jedi, one of them being a reformed stormtrooper, the other one literally somebody who came from nothing, you know. And that they should have left Rey's background like she was just nothing. She shouldn't have been a Palpatine. Don't ever watch Rise of Skywalker. It was stupid.
Yeah, I don't plan on it.
No.
Can I say to Hicksville, when he says Solo was completely pointless, dude, you are right, because the point of it was a cash grab and they lost money.
Like the Marvels.
Yeah.
Like the Marvels, which is another one.
Dude, I remember those. I walked out of The Last Jedi. Like, a lot of people were like, well, I thought I liked it at first. No, my wife was turning to me like, are you okay, babe? Like, halfway through the movie, I was just... Because, look, did I think The Force Awakens was a spectacular film? No, but it was their first time out. I thought J.J. Abrams was a douche, and I could see him all over that movie, his little techniques and directing style and stuff. But they set... J.J. Abrams does what he does best. He set up a bunch of interesting questions and a bunch of interesting things to look forward to in the sequel, you know. So I thought The Last Jedi was going to be better because it wasn't J.J. Abrams. At that point, Rogue One had come out. It wasn't their first outing with a Star Wars movie now. I was thinking they would find their footing, and my God, it was so bad. And, like, that's not nothing any of us know, but it's like by the time we get to Solo, after I walked out of the fucking theater, I mean, I was mad that I had waited since, you know, not just since The Force Awakens, but really since I first saw the original trilogy for the follow-up, and this is what we were getting. They would play those fucking Solo ads and be like, this May, the summer belongs to Solo, and it just all looked, it all like it, those commercials would almost enrage me. Like, fuck you, Star Wars. And it blew my mind when The Rise of Skywalker came out, and all these people who had stood together for these past few years like ran out to see the fucking movie. Like, just ran out to fucking see it as soon as they possibly could. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I guess we're not standing strong. Like,
and the only fucking reason I went to see that movie, and I've told you this before, but for anybody who's new here, because I was with you on Last Jedi. Like, that was before we met. That was like, what, a couple months before we met, like the WCBS group. But yeah, I went with a coworker. I wasn't going to go because I hadn't even seen Force Awakens. I was like, I don't need this. Like, I saw the trailer. I'm like, I don't think I need this. I'm like, and I'm listening to my coworkers talk about it for, 2 years. And, and then Rogue One, which I watched when that came out on Blu-ray. And I liked the war aspects of that because that's like what I've wanted to see is like war, like all, and the scenes on the beach and the trailers on Scarif were great.
There was more war before they brought in Tony, whatever his name is, to cut half the film out and redo it. Like,
yeah, Gareth Edwards, all his stuff.
Yeah. Fucking, I'd love to see the Gareth Edwards cut of Rogue One because that's what they were saying was there's too much war.
Yeah, it's
Violence
like it's Star
Wars. No place in wrestling, and war has no place in Star Wars. Like, okay,
right,
all right.
But so going, Last Jedi was completely disgusted. 5 minutes into the movie with your mama jokes and I'm just like, Jesus fucking Christ. And movie's over. I'm fucking just like disgusted. And the next day, all my coworkers that went to see it at different theaters were like, oh, I was like, that wasn't fucking good. I'm like, there was nothing good about that.
Star Wars. That wasn't even Star Wars. Like the fucking iron that they were pretending was they made it seem like it was a ship. And it was an iron. Just the most shallow things like that to deep meaning of the movie. None of it was fucking Star Wars.
No. And I fucking they got mad at me because I didn't like it. Like, oh, you're not even a Star Wars. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, it was a shit movie. And that's when I said Rogue One was better. And they're like, oh, sorry, go watch Force Awakens. You'll see. So I watched Force Awakens and I'm like, that's A New Hope. And all they tried to do with the next one, stupid fucking roundhead tried to do was make fucking Empire Strikes Back over again with dumb fucking jokes, humor that doesn't fit in fucking Star Wars. And the answer is about 12, Clone Geek. But no, it was bad. And so going to Rise of Skywalker, I had no anticipation after seeing the first fucking trailer where Rey jump flips and splits Kylo Ren. Kylo's TIE fighter in half, which should have killed him, but didn't. Because my mom took me to see Return of the Jedi, which we were talking about last night at Thanksgiving. And I was like, I don't know if they're ever going to release another Star Wars movie while she's around. Her health's not the best. So we went to see it with my commie sister. And within 5 minutes of that movie starting, I literally audibly in the theater was like, motherfucker, like pissed. Like I did. I was like, dude, and I was high as shit. I'm just like, what the fuck? It was stupid.
Like, I had no urge. I mean, I had just become. Star Wars is something that I love.
Yeah.
And to see these people come in and bastardize it. And I guess I react differently than some, the same as others, but and I know you weren't dying to run out and see Rise of Sky. It was a family thing. I get that. But I had absolutely no, it wasn't like I had to fight temptation. When the Rise of Skywalker came out, after seeing The Last Jedi, after hearing about Solo, after not just seeing a bad movie, but how they reacted to the fans afterwards, Lucasfilm themselves, I had just become completely indifferent to it at that point. I don't need to see the end of this trilogy because it's already been destroyed. You can maybe make a weaker first movie and then kind of catch up on the momentum, but I was honest to God interested to see what happened with Finn next. And within the first few minutes of The Last Jedi, they had ruined him. And Hicks Villain says his final straw was the Kenobi show. It looked so cheap and made Vader look like a chump. That's what killed it. I would have loved to see an Obi-Wan Kenobi show. Even if it doesn't make it, I really think they should leave him alone in that time span. But maybe a Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan show or something,
I loved Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan. I did, man. I thought he was cool as Obi-Wan.
He did a great job.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see a movie like that at one point, but it's I can't, we have all the technology in the world now. We can tell all these great stories, and it's it landed in the hands of the worst possible people.
Absolutely. It absolutely did. And that's the problem with this shit is you talk about the movie The Last Jedi. It is a shit movie. It's terribly written. The character motivations are all over the place. It's ridiculous. That movie's visually stunning though. The way it's shot, the VFX, that's beautiful. You know what I mean?
Wait, which one?
Last Jedi, the cinematography and everything is it is. It's beautiful, but it's a shit movie. You know what I mean? You know if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
I heard a lot.
Did Tony just break up, or is that me?
Sorry, Ed. Like, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I was
All right. I wanted to
wiping
make sure it
dust
wasn't me.
off my screen, and a fucking little piece of hair landed on my computer desk, and it muted somehow. When I went to wipe it away, the hair didn't mute the microphone. Was the movie shot better than I could shoot it if I went in there right now? Probably, but I just can't appreciate anything about it because it was setting out to intentionally insult me, and they succeeded, you know?
Yeah.
But like I said, when I was leaving the theater, that's the last fucking time you're going to insult me. Like, fuck you. So I'm sure it was like the color scheme of the movie. I kind of like the darker grays and the red and white planet. Sure. But it's, oh God, dude. And
well, it's fucking horrible. I mean, like you said in the beginning with Finn, you have Finn looking like a jackass. Commander, the chick that runs the bombing run, she's like in charge of that, and then that she has like, it was the Y-wings. Fuck,
was that Rose's sister?
No. She's the bomb. She's the They have to manually drop the bomb. I don't know, but she was like one of the pilots. But the chick that she's in one of the fighters, and she's the one. She's like, what did she say? She's like, fighters keep it, or bombers keep a tight formation. Fighters protect the bombers. I was like, that was the most useless comms transmission in the history of like of fucking space battles. Like, bitch, how did you get your fucking job? I remember just hearing that line and that angering me. It's like, why would you want them to keep a tight formation like that? Like, it's like, I knew what was going to happen before. And then one fucking wing gets shot out and cuts through like what, 5 or 6 fucking bombers. It's like, what the fuck? Like, are these things made of papier-mâché?
Well,
it's a Seinfeld.
Yeah, I know. Well, I just remember the bombs dropping in space, and you're like, how the fuck does that work? And well, if you would have read the compendium to the side manual of this that came out 3 years ago, you'd know they were magnetic. It's like, well, excuse me, I didn't, motherfucker. I'm like, I don't know, 99.9% of your audience, and is just thinking, how the fuckers anything's falling in space, like much less bombs. Like, anyway.
I got in arguments on Facebook and got banned from fucking Star Wars groups because I thought that was, and that's what I got too, was, well, they were magnetized. That's what I got told. You needed, just like, why the fuck do I need a book to explain a fucking movie?
And they weren't magnetized. They thought of that after the fact, I'm sure.
After the fucking movie.
If they're magnetized, don't tell. Show a laser locking on and activating, and don't make it fall like it's falling through air. Make it like it's being attracted to another magnet or something. Like, and anyway, even then, I don't see how hard it'd be to just make non-magnetic space vehicles if you have magnetic bombs, but that's a whole other discussion. Like,
manliness says, wouldn't the magnets attract them to the bombers themselves? Well, I imagine if they were magnetized, they would have some sort of targeting system on the individual bomb. They would lock the coordinates in to the target from the central communication system. I would think the targeting system would have, you know what I mean? Like, they would have like, okay, this is what these bombs like. I don't know how to describe it, but you know what I'm saying. Okay.
No, I get.
But
there's just so much wrong with the movie. Like, even fucking Clone Geek mentions how they just killed off Admiral Akbar, just like, fuck you, you're dead. They have Laura Dern acting like it has to be the worst character, at least up to that point, the worst character in Star Wars history.
Insufferable.
Oh my God!
I was listening to somebody, and you talk about worst characters. I was listening to somebody talk about Rise of Skywalker and they mentioned Zori Bliss. I was like, who the fuck was Zori Bliss in Rise of Skywalker? And I'm like, oh, that was the black girl that was supposed to be Lando's fucking daughter. And then
Oh,
you had
Jesus.
what was her name? Carrie Russell. Her character was the one that basically kept her helmet on. In this age when all these actors have to show their face, even when their character wears a mask or a helmet, you know, they take them off. They make a beautiful woman leave hers on. Like, and a talented actress leave hers on. I'm like, this makes no sense. But yeah,
It's ridiculous.
yeah, those characters were there, but they were utterly useless. Like Rise of Skywalker was basically a video game. It was basically like a bad Star Wars video game where you go from like, you know, achieve object, you know, obtain object, achieve goal, you know, unlock next about, you know, and then next thing, and it was like MacGuffin to MacGuffin, you know, that's basically what it was. And going to the fucking Star Destroyer that was on the surface of that fucking water. I just, it's like supposedly this Star Destroyer was there, and there was the Wayfinder. I think, was it a Wayfinder or something that was in there? Or was it a holocron? I can't remember what it was.
It's so fucking ridiculous. All for it to end up being Palpatine anyway. Like that was I heard about that and I just shook my fucking head. Like, these people are goddamn pathetic. These people are fucking pathetic. Like, and I'll always give Colin Trevorrow props for that. You know, whether you like the new Jurassic World movies or not, you know, at least he had the self-respect to say, fuck this, and walk away. And then they were scrambling and ran back to J.J. Abrams. Look, couple good things to come out of this tragedy. The reason any of us are here right now, you know, and know each other was because of The Last Jedi. And because of just Disney Star Wars in general. But what has J.J. Abrams done? And like, how long does it take to write a black fucking Superman movie? Like, that basically ended any momentum he had, those Star Wars movies, which tells you how, like, if it was this raving success, J.J. Abrams would have come out with quite a few films since then. When did The Rise of Skywalker, 2019?
Yeah, December 2019.
It's almost been a half a decade, which is a long time in Hollywood. And if you only saw a star in a movie once every 5 years, they'd, you know, almost, I forgot about him. Where's J.J. Abrams? So that's one positive. It basically stopped his wrath of murdering franchises.
Yeah. He just, that movie's a fucking Frankenstein's monster. And as far as the Jurassic World movies go, you had Jurassic World, you had Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and then Dominion. I like the first one. It's kind of hollow, except I really like Chris Pratt in that role. I don't know. He has such a quality about him. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I really do like him.
I thought it was interesting getting the can of worms of, like, you know, genetic engineering and crossbreeding and create. So, like, I thought the Indominus was an interesting concept, but my thing with the Jurassic movies is, and I was the same way with the original, I like it when the parks are actually there.
Yes.
You know, once we get into the sequels and stuff, it always gets weird for me. Like, I like it when there's an actual park, you know? I don't know what it is. Like, I really like the first movie, and then I like Jurassic World, okay. You know, not as much as the first, but yeah.
Dude, Trey has the T-Rex and the Indominus Rex, the giant ones.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's got those, and I bought him the Indoraptor. He's got quite a few of the dinosaurs. Uncle Sal bought him the T-Rex like years ago. And it's cool because it can swallow a 3 3/4 action figure, and its stomach opens up and they come out that way. So those have eaten a lot of stormtroopers over the years. It's they're fun. They're like really fun toys to have battles with and shit. Like we've gotten a lot of miles out of those. But I liked the first Jurassic World movie. I thought it was okay. It was good to see another movie, if that makes sense, because that came out around the same time as Force Awakens.
I remember it came out the same summer as Guardians of the Galaxy, because I was like, holy shit, Chris Pratt is like the lead star in like two of the biggest movies of the summer. I was like, his career is taking off.
And I think they were still doing Parks and Rec at that point, weren't they?
I don't think so, but maybe.
I can't remember when that ended, because I used to watch that too. But yeah, he was like on top of the fucking world at that point. And then Fallen Kingdom, oh my God, Tony. I fucking lost my shit during that movie. Every time I've watched, I fucking hate that movie with a passion.
Yeah, the third one was really bad, and then the second one was just fucking boring. Like,
I hated it. There was so much wrong with that fucking movie. And I felt bad because I think I ruined it for Trey, because he just liked it for the dinosaurs. And we're sitting there watching it, and I just started ranting about this thing. And the wife's like, Jesus. I'm like, no, this fucking movie's terrible. Like, yeah, I've probably seen it because of him like a handful of times. The third one was like, I honestly don't remember much of it. And we went to the theater to see it, like, because Trey wanted to go to the theater and watch it. So we went to the theater to watch it. And I was like, there was so the female character.
Fallen Kingdom is the second one, yeah. I was thinking, isn't that the third one?
No,
that was
Fallen
Dominion.
Kingdom's the second one.
Yeah, that
Dominion's
was fucking. Dude, it was pretty bad, but it was more just boring to me. It wasn't a very great follow-up. The one part that was shot well was something I didn't want to see, which is the Brachiosaurus fucking drowning.
No, in fire. It was like on fire and like on the end of the dock. I was like, oh no, why did they have to kill off the first dinosaur we ever saw as kids? Why would you fucking do that? Why, you fucking pricks?
And it was like that was representing anything good about the franchise dying.
Yep. Well, I thought weaponizing the dinosaurs was fucking retarded. Like,
I hated the whole, that, but also weaponizing the humans, making them like leftist activists for the fucking dinosaurs.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You had Activist Girl, which was what was that chick? She was in that, the anime show. They did. You know what I'm talking about? The scientist girl with the glasses.
Yeah.
That was a feminist.
She did the blood transfusion for Blue.
What show was she on? It was a Netflix anime show everybody fucking hated.
No idea.
She was like the lead character in it, and she was like, and the character in the anime, Cowboy Bebop. Thank you. I knew somebody get it. Yeah, I never watched it. I know the anime is beloved. I know that because that came out in '98, which was my senior year, and I remember them replaying that on Adult Swim, but I never watched it. It wasn't my thing. But I know everybody hated the show because the character's like a femme fatale, and they kind of took that away from her, and she was a cunt. What up, Tommy? The lead actress in that show was a fucking cunt, and she was a cunt in the Jurassic World movie. I fucking hated her. And then you had that effeminate fucking little bitch that was in the Pokemon Detective Pikachu movie. He was the guy in that, and it's like, oh my God, could they have come up with more of a fucking cuck for this? Like, Jesus Christ, this kid is a fucking just effeminate little bitch.
It's like Jaden Smith's fucking boyfriend or something. Like, he's
probably the guy that slept with Jada.
Yeah, I think his name is Ricky Starks. Would have dropped by sooner, but I have been busy digging out toys from the toy room.
Nothing wrong with that, brother.
Yeah. Hicks Villain thanks you because he almost wiped Cowboy Bebop from his memory. And Godzillionaire, my wife, like that's her shit, is the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World movies. So yes, definitely I see Vince Vaughn as a dino activist, but he wasn't an insufferable activist.
No.
He was just, and knowing that he's pretty based in real life, maybe that helps. But yeah, I see Vince Vaughn in The Lost World quite a few times a year, my friend.
Yeah, I've watched those quite a few times because Trey loves those movies. So I own all of them, even the bad one I own because Trey loves them. So I've seen the original ones like quite a few times.
Those
and
still hold up great. That first
dude
still looks fucking great.
And that's like a great role for Laura Dern. That's like when she was like you know what I mean? Like I loved her and Sam Neill's. And Sam Neill's fucking amazing.
Only in the first movie though, because by the time you get to Dominion, she's basically her Star Wars character.
Yep. She was a fucking bitch in that. I was like, oh God. Like, and that's even my wife pointed out. She goes, why is she? I'm like, she goes, she wouldn't like this and the other one. I'm like, nope.
But welcome to the modern day film industry. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. And one of my buddies is this Smack. Yeah, he's at. You want to see a video? Can we show a video from SmackDown real quick? He's there.
Yeah.
They got upgraded to some really fucking good seats here. So, and he's going to Survivor Series tomorrow night too.
Nice.
Yeah, it's our boy from Instant Regret, my homie Chris. So, been down with me on YouTube since 2006, dude. Since 2006. Here we go.
Yeah.
Ain't that some shit?
That's awesome.
Fuck
I used to go to Fed shows all the frickin' time when they come to town. Like, man, I haven't been in years now. It's just too like that. See, that's another thing. Back to what we were talking about a little while ago. Like, we're in the digital age of wrestling. When we miss the analog age, when it was a little grungier, maybe a little smokier in the arenas, a little grain to the resolution. There weren't so many lights and augmented reality. And like, you don't need all that to put on a good wrestling show. It's like, it's become so shallow. It's so superficial. It's like, well, who needs to tell good stories? Have you seen this lighting rig? Okay.
Dude, let you give me a fucking 16 by 16 ring, a fucking high school gym, a nice DJ setup, and let me book a card, and I'll put on a fucking show. You know what I mean? I'll put on a fucking show. I ain't even talking about me being on the fucking car. I'll just book the shit, and I'll put on a fucking. You know what I mean? I'll put on a better fucking more entertaining fucking show. I've seen more entertaining indie shows, and I've watched more AEW than I care to. But goddamn, there's so few good things to be derived from those shows that it's like, man, like, but the potential's there, it's like they just can't downshift and get to that next fucking gear. Because they're Tony Khan's own ego and his desire to have things his way, not the way they should be, gets in the way of his own fucking success. Yeah, that's it. He's an adult playing with action figures. That's what it is. So, and he gets,
Hicks Villain brings on, I think I remember this because it was recent. She wasn't complaining at the time, but Dern complained she was far too young for Sam Neill in the first movie. You weren't far too young for Harvey Weinstein, sweetheart. Just sit down, shut the fuck up. And like you're not at any point, especially like being a kid, but even watching it now, I never even thought of the age difference between Sam Neill and Laura Dern. It was just
I thought they were the same age.
Two people.
Yep.
Yeah, it was fucking anything they can complain about these days. Like, no, you're not a victim. You live in a mansion in the Hollywood Hills. Shut the fuck up.
Right. It's like, yeah, you waited how long to complain about this? Like, seriously, this is the hill you want to die on?
Trying to spoil something great. Fuck you.
Yeah. And just doesn't that just go along with the theme that women ruin everything?
Yeah. Yep.
But no, it's funny we're talking about the age difference too, because I was just listening to Hack the Movies, and they were talking about Indiana Jones and the difference between the age of Marion and Indy, and how they had a relationship when she was 15 and he would have been like in his 30s. Like, he basically groomed her. It was like, oh, I guess I didn't catch that as a kid. You know what I mean? And I really thought about it.
People are weirdos back then. You didn't have to analyze every little thing. You could kind of take things as what they were.
And you think about the time. It's set in a certain period of time, and I'm not excusing it, but it was a different time in certain states or whatever had different. You know what I mean? It was, and depending on what country they were in.
Mexico is still 12. Not defending it or anything.
No.
I'm just saying.
No, not at all. As I have a shirt on that says.
It's just more of, we need to judge the past by our modern day whacked out fucking standards.
Yeah.
Now, should a 30-year-old and a 15-year-old be together? Probably not. But people that just watching the movie, who's thinking about that?
Exactly. You really don't. You don't put too much thought into it because it's such a one-off thing. I don't know.
And check the manliness' aunt. She didn't get married till she was 1,415 years old. To a 30-year-old.
That seems about right.
Yeah.
By the time you're 1,415 years old, you're pretty good. You're good. They say women mature faster, so there's that.
Clone Geek says he thought the Han and Leia age gap was kind of strange. See, I never even thought of it. Like,
I didn't either.
Again, looked like the same age to me. Maybe Han a little older, but
yeah, I figured maybe she was in her 20s and he was like 30, maybe 30.
I guess she was a teen because, like, how many years between episode 3 and 4? Like 17 years. So, yeah, I guess she was a teen, but
she was old enough. She was old enough. She was old enough to make out with her brother.
Y'all are making me think about shit now and analyze things that I never had. It was just Han and Leia. Like, damn it.
Oh, shit. Hey, I was just talking to Chris earlier. What's up, brother? Hail, my man. Happy Thanksgiving. Appreciate you boys going the extra mile. $14.99 Aussie super chat. Thank you, brother. Hang on. We got to get him a super chat bumper. Let's go over here. We'll do we got all super chat bumpers on Going in Raw. Let's see. We'll give him one of the new ones. We'll go with the Critters one. All right. Let's hang on. God damn it. I was already over. Real professional here. I'm real professional.
After this, I have a subject I want to talk about.
All right. So for your $14.99 super chat, Chris Wicks, my brother, here you go, sir. Here we go. Thank you, Chris.
That was so weird. The screen just went black after like 10 seconds and said your browser failed to play the clip. I'm like, huh.
Yours did?
Yeah. But it said my browser failed to, so I don't know if everyone else, I think everyone else saw that, but it never happened to me before. Clone Geek says, yeah, so Han's 10 years older in pre-Disney lore and 13 years in the Disney one. But you know what? It's outer space. It's the Wild West. At this point, it's about survival. And that's my excuse for a 17 and 27-year-old banging. And then, to be fair, too, that was in... Okay, so Han and Leia didn't really, like, get together in the first movie.
No.
So then, like, 3 years later in Empire, she's 20 and he's 30. So that's not so weird.
No.
You know?
No, because they weren't together in Star Wars.
Yeah, they didn't get together till like Empire, you know, when they started. Yep. And even then he was frozen in carbonite, and another few years goes by.
Yeah,
and they finally are together in the fucking Return of the Jedi. So it's not to 24, 34, whatever, 22, 32, whatever their ages were by that point. It's not so weird. I don't think. I'm 10 years older than my wife.
No.
Maybe that's why I don't think it's weird.
My ex was 5 years younger than me, almost 6 years younger, so no.
Thank you, Tolbat. Happy Thanksgiving to you too.
Happy Thanksgiving, brother. Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. Clone Geek said Mon Mothma got married at 15 in the Disney lore, but that's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
Did she marry Man E. Bothans? I always make that joke. It's like it wasn't many Bothans, it was Manny Bothans. It was just some guy named Manny Bothans. He was just a normal guy, but one day he had to complete an extraordinary task. Manny Bothans was on the case. No, nothing. Okay. We can move on.
So,
just fuck Manny Bothans. Just fuck Manny Bothans.
Fuck Manny Bothans. He's a saint.
Fuck that motherfucker.
Yes. So what I wanted to talk about, number one, I'm thinking about joining I spoke about this on Vinny's stream earlier, Friday Underground stream. If you didn't catch that, definitely go back, check that out. Especially the Rumble segment. Great stuff. If Leia had only something to count at 17, she'd be empowered. Now, hold on, I want to get to it. Let's be honest, women are primed already at 15, 16, and it was normal until about 30 years ago. We used to realize women live on a biological clock. Yep. So, I was talking about this on Vinny's stream earlier. I'm thinking about joining the Angel Studio Guild. It's like $20 a month, but money couldn't really be better spent, especially if you're kind of sick of what's going on in Hollywood and, all aspects of our media and institutions lately. And that's including, there's a movie called The Shift that's coming out December 1st that I'm going to talk my wife into go seeing. It's a multiverse movie that looks very interesting. It stars Neil McDonough, and they have they have a documentary out right now called After Death, which speaks to people about outer body experiences and people who suffered catastrophic events, almost died, what they experienced. That sounds interesting. Not to mention their show, The Chosen, and all the, Angel Studios is doing a lot of really good stuff right now. I saw Shaft, not The Shift. Very different movie. I would think Frankie knows. I would think. Neil Long thinks Shaft's a closet homo, but that's a whole other argument. The most interesting thing the Angel Studios is doing right now, and I heard this from the owners and founders of Angel Studios, because what they do when you're a guild member most of their media, if not all of it, is made by suggestions from guild members. They bring stories to the owner's attention and things they'd like to see, and they vote on it and whatever else, and they'll make the movie. That's how they run their business. They are going to create basically a small, maybe I don't know. They're creating a cinematic universe, an expansive one, revolving around the founding of the United States. They're going to have a movie about the life of George Washington, and a movie about the Revolutionary War, and maybe a movie about Benjamin Franklin, and maybe a movie about Sam Adams or the Culper Spy Ring. But it's going to be a set of different movies, maybe mini series that all kind of give you a bigger picture on how America came to be. And I think that's really interesting. That's one of the more interesting concepts I've heard. Etep can back me up here. I've been calling for a video game for a long time, and I know there was an Assassin's Creed one, but a nice open world video game, maybe in the style of Ghost of Tsushima or Red Dead Redemption, which Red Dead is really cool for, post-Civil War America. But I'd really like a video game revolving around the Revolutionary War and, open world. You can run through the 13 colonies, whatever. But so to get a cinematic universe about that is even a step higher, I think. I think that's going to be really fun, and I want to see that. And I think it's good for the culture to have things like this.
Yeah, I was listening the whole time. I think that's a really cool idea and concept they have, and I like how you were talking about the guild, and they vote on the stories and the movies and things like that. That's very neat, and that's very it's very fan centric. That's really cool, and I like the concept of going around and talking about the founding of the United States and making showing story, not making, but producing stories about that. Derek Chauvin got Jesus Christ.
Before we move on to that, I just wanna.
No, I like the concept though, Tony. I do. I like that.
He was stabbed today in prison. Jesus. What I think might be a good story to share with the owners of Angel Studios. I think it would be really good as like a Halloween special for kids, especially if you've read, and if you haven't read this, then you need to go read it and support independent creators. But especially how the story ends, I think Through the Woods would be a really fun Halloween special, because how big was that when we were children? Like Halloween cartoons and things to look forward to. And like the Tuttle Twins are on Angels. They either work with the Tuttle Twins or they own the Tuttle Twins. But
I read those books.
Yeah, Through the Woods would be a fantastic Halloween special. Nice, like 30-minute cartoon, maybe an hour, dude. That would be a classic. Especially like knowing how it ends and stuff, it's right up their alley. I really think it is.
Oh yeah, that would definitely make a wonderful Halloween special for them to produce. I mean, why not? And while we're talking about it, I might as well show it off because it's right here. Gorgeous hardcover, gorgeous art. You don't. Oh, I forgot my bookmarks in there. You don't get to see too much, but yeah, there it is right there, signed by Vinny and Frankie. But yeah, like look at this. This is beautiful, folks. I'm terrible at this, but this is absolutely gorgeous. See, that's what you get. You need to, if they have any left, you need to get you one.
Yes.
You need to get you one of these. But look at this. Look at that ass. Look at that. Jesus. And then you're talking about kids, they had this too, which Trey loved this. Trey absolutely loved this. This was a kid's one. Yeah. So fantastic stuff. But yeah, that would be. Imagine. Hey, Tone kicked me out. I was being a bigot. He kicked me
I
out.
meant to minimize you and I booted you. What up, CJP?
Hail, brother. Hail. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving, my man. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. But yeah, that would be great, man. And it would be fucking. It's them doing things like that, and giving people what they want that's how entertainment's supposed to be. What up, Zachariah? Hail, brother.
I need to know because Through the Woods was illustrated by Vinny, but as a lot of us know, the story was written by Frankie. Did Frankie describe that ass verbally, and then Vinny just worked off that, or was that Vinny's own? I need to know. Was Frankie like her nice plump? No, I don't know.
He was describing it.
I don't know how these things work. Frankie says, "Thank you for the spot. I'd like to see it as a movie. I'd like the Ghostly Manor to be animated. Thanks again." Yeah, there you go. You know the work better than I do. That would be amazing. Like it's something to maybe throw their way. Real quick, just so we can go back to this. Chauvin, I guess it wasn't like he was seriously injured, and they had to perform life-saving measures. And they're gonna
have to put him in protective custody.
Yep.
They will. He'll be in isolation because I'm not advocating on his behalf, but I'm just saying, like, from a prison standpoint, you don't want homicides on your records as a warden, as a correctional institution. That's what I went to college for, was corrections. Like that's not good, and I mean, I understand, we advocate for, certain things to certain people, but allegedly in Minecraft YouTube, like my shirt says, but I mean, this dude, I don't know. I don't think the entire trial was a sham anyway, Yeah.
No, it was like, whether you think he's guilty or not, everybody has the right to a fair trial.
Yep. And he didn't get that. He was never going to get that. And the only reason I'm kind of being this way is because we're on YouTube. You guys know where I stand on this. Yeah, that's it. But yeah. It was, the whole thing was a fucking bullshit fucking lie. Let's be honest.
I want to know more about what CJP's taught. Not to jump around, but he says Andrew Cuomo and Eric Adams had accusations leveled against them for the statute of limitation deadline expired. They paused the limitation to get Trump, and now over 100 celebs are getting hit with lawsuits.
I heard the Eric Adams thing is revenge. That's revenge from the Biden administration. I'm not saying he's innocent, but yeah, he probably did something that they covered up, so he could be the darling and be the black mayor of New York City and say, New York City got a brand. New York City got a brand. We tough. And then all of a sudden it's, we can't handle all the immigrants. We need help. We need help. And he speaks out against the Biden immigration policies or lack thereof. And now he's got allegations leveled against him. You see what I'm saying? There's a fucking correlation. You can't do the same thing over and over and over and establish a fucking pattern and not expect people to fucking pick up on it. You know what I mean? And we're awake. We see it. Is it? I hope so.
And just to answer our question, by the way, that ass was all Vinny. CJP's a fan of it.
It's fucking, this stuff is great. I'm telling you guys. Get you some of
Yeah.
this.
Tolbad, I agree. Like, I can't say whether you think he's guilty or not, because maybe, like, manslaughter or something, I could see an argument for.
Yep.
Like, after how long do you really need him on the ground? I don't know. But yeah, murder he didn't murder anybody.
No.
Chauvin
It
got
was-
prosecuted for fentanyl overdose. Yeah, and maybe just,
Yep.
maybe he should have called an ambulance or something. I can see that. I can see that argument. Hey, the dude's telling you can't breathe. He can't breathe. He's freaking out. Obviously, maybe his breathing slowing or something. Like, call an ambulance. Just in case. Just in case. You never know. He can remain in custody and go to the hospital. But yeah, that wasn't murder. If he got charged with murder and Alec Baldwin didn't, yeah.
You're right. The only difference between him and Alec Baldwin is how much money Baldwin has for legal defense.
Status. Yeah.
Yep. And he's a Hollywood elite. That's the difference. I've had so many people in the comment section of when I was doing the Alec Baldwin videos. Hey, man, are you fucking really? It's like when people stick up for Disney, like they're a family member. Like, it's all this shit with the Marvels again, the incels, and it's men's fault this movie failed. The audience is 60% male. What the fuck you want? This movie wasn't made for us. The audience is still 60% male, and you're still calling men misogynists. And the reason the shitty movie fucking failed and the director bailed on it, didn't even go to the premiere because she was at another fucking movie.
Hickzone says Adams is awful, but they're railroading him between this and campaign fraud allegations. All Dems are corrupt, not just New York. All Dems are corrupt. They aren't supposed to point it out. Keely Chow says, "What's up to everybody?" Hail Keely.
Hail Keely.
Godzillionaire says he hopes he remained in custody. I don't know if he means Chauvin or St. Floyd, but St. Floyd is here to defend his honor. He didn't kill me, baby. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I took an elephant to kill an elephant. And then I came back in my astral form and shanked that motherfucker.
My astral form? It's like 976 Evil. Chauvin's walking by a payphone bank in the prison, and he picks up a phone, and it's the fucking guy, and he shows up, and it's St. Floyd. Ah, baby, shanks him.
Yeah. He shanked him, and then Chauvin collapsed to the ground, and George Floyd put his palm over Chauvin's forehead and was like, "Ade Dewey Dimbala, baby. Give me the power, I beg of you. I can't breathe." Wakes up in Chauvin's body like, "Oh shit, I'm in shank."
You sound like Dave Chappelle.
Yeah. Well, speedy recovery, to Derek Chauvin. Like, he can drop a mixtape after this.
Oh, yeah.
One shank couldn't drop me. I took it and smiled.
I want to hear. Never mind. That's an off-air conversation. Watch the dude who shanked Chauvin being a fentanyl dealer. Don't mess with my clientele, motherfucker. It's one of the cartel fucking members.
You mean one of the... Yeah, exactly. One of the peaceful migrants making their way there?
Yeah.
You can get this one.
Chauvin was having a hard time breathing, baby. He's on life support. He can't breathe, baby.
You know what's funny? They probably gave him fentanyl as a painkiller, that or morphine.
How ironic is that? Palpatine, ironic.
He tips the nurse with a counterfeit 20.
Derek's laying there. He's like, "Keep the change, baby." She's like, "What?" He's like, "Nothing." God, they loses.
I feel bad for him because, like, again, he didn't get the KKK got fair trials. Murderers and child assaulters get fair trials.
Unfortunately.
And they knew, like, the judge was shaking. The judge was scared. And they just caved into the mob. Like, and then pretty sure the Supreme Court said they wouldn't hear the case. It's like,
yes,
why not? Like, even if you think he's guilty and it's provable that he's guilty of whatever, which again wasn't murder in my opinion, but murder, manslaughter, just, you know, I can't think of the word, but, you know, his professional irresponsibility to call an ambulance as a police officer with someone in custody, then you want that trial to be fair.
Yep.
You want it to be fair. You want it to be proven beyond a reasonable doubt that Derek Chauvin, you know, conducted, you know, it was a misconduct or manslaughter. You know, you want that to be proven. And for the Supreme Court to see what we all saw in that courtroom and outside of that courtroom and say, we're not going to hear that. I mean, it's just, we need people to have testicular fortitude in this country. Stand up for what's right. If he's guilty, we don't need a mob threatening jurors and the judge and shit. Prove he's fucking guilty and send his ass away. But he deserves that. He deserves at least that much. Because, again, we all know he didn't pull over George Floyd like, I'm going to kill someone on camera. Like, he knew he was being recorded.
Yep.
And the media knew there was a whole tape out there, and they cropped it down to what we saw for weeks and intentionally stirred us up.
And look what happened. Look at billions of dollars worth of damage.
When are they going to get charged for misconduct or fucking manslaughter? How many people died because of the media's manipulation?
Yeah. And most of the people that died were on one side.
Yeah. Does Officer Dorn get justice? Does David Dorn get justice?
Yep. And that's a sad state of it. Is they like you alluded to with the judge and the jury, they felt threatened, so they, you know, they had forsaken justice in the name of mob rule. And that is when Lady Liberty wept. And honestly, it's a sad state of affairs when your system that is supposed to afford the rich and the poor, you know, the downtrodden and the upper scale, all the same level of judicial due process, which we all know that's a fallacy. But this wasn't a case of, you know, class. This was a case of the mob being already riled up because all the other BLM shit. And this was the powder keg that lit it off for that summer of love. Was some fucking dope addict fucking guy having a heart attack, a lifelong criminal. This man, and you know, we've made the jokes about it, but literally assaulted a pregnant female with a firearm. And now he's a martyr. He's a saint, literally. You know, this man, my mural, you know, murals, baby, like murals and paintings, and you know, I mean, like
he is the
what
saint to them?
What kind of
their color revolution?
What kind of fucking dystopian fucking hellscape is a person like that idolized? And I'm not saying that he deserved to die for fucking, you know, but that was his own doing. That was a drug overdose. I mean, what do you want? You know, and then, you know, Chauvin should have been charged with negligent homicide or, you know, or manslaughter. He was guilty of shitty police work. That's what Chauvin was guilty of, was shitty police work. And so were his fellow officers. they are just as culpable in that. So it's the whole situation was fucking. It was a manufactured thing. After it happened, it
Yeah,
was
it was
like,
so chaos to get
Mhm.
Trump out of office. That's what it
Yeah.
all was about. Even whatever Harris on Fox News, that black girl over there,
Oh, yeah, I know
Harris
who you're talking about.
Faulkner.
Harris Faulkner.
Harris
Yep.
Faulkner. She interviews Trump after that, like, well, are you racist? Are you racist? Like, bitch, shut the fuck up, dude. What does Donald Trump have to do with a cop out in Minnesota pulling over a drug addict? Like, what?
Yep.
Yeah, anyway. This is why, what's more important than laws is culture. That's why women don't get arrested in Florida for skydiving on Sunday, or why you don't get arrested for putting a pie on your windowsill between the hours of 10 and 2 on Sundays in fucking Illinois. All these weird laws that aren't enforced anymore. It's because culture. And right now, the culture is these people are cowering to the left and to the mob.
Yep.
And that's changing slowly, but it is changing. But bringing it back to Angel Studios, that's what helps build culture. Even if it's just to push back against these psychopaths on the left who have taken over everything. You want to say fuck you to these people, support an institution that they don't control. Rip some of that power away. Again, look at the Hollywood strike earlier this year. Everyone was talking about Trump's mugshot. No one can get, I don't even know if it's still going on or not. I heard something about, well, the writers are fine, but the actors, I don't care. It doesn't mean anything to me. These people hate me. They hate you. They've shown that multiple times over. They think they're better than you. Support. And if not Angel Studios, there are plenty of, again, independent artists out there. There's all kinds of things we can support.
Yeah.
But we're all here because we don't passively collect information. We don't passively hear the news. We go out and look for the news. We go out and search for the truth. And we need to do the same thing with our entertainment. We can't just passively, okay, this is the next movie, and go watch whatever Disney throws in our face, or Hollywood. We need to go find the good stuff out there. There are plenty of independent movies. There's plenty of good out there. It's just, the left has the loudspeaker, but we don't have to listen. We don't have to listen.
No, we're under no obligation to absorb and consume their propaganda at all.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to take, $20 a month and join the Angel Guild, because you can download their app free right now. They have people just like during Sound of Freedom who would pay it forward and people could get free movie tickets. They have people who pay it forward for shows on there. So maybe download the Angel app, find a show, and you might get to watch it for free thanks to just another giving guild member or something, But if you are a guild member, you have all their content available to you. They have shows, they have movies, documentaries. Like, it's really interesting. Like, I was thinking maybe if I do that, we could all get together and maybe watch Party After Death, how we did like Candace Owens' documentary that Draven got from the Daily Wire,
Yeah, absolutely. I'm always interested in stuff like that. Like we were talking earlier about the Samuel Culper and the Washington spies and all that. That just I didn't really know anything about that, and that just really it sounds like a freaking fascinating like series of events, but yeah, the whole Benedict Arnold thing, it's like, what? The Crown sympathizers, the sad Crown sympathizers, that they wanted that boot on their neck. Sounds like the left, doesn't it? They call everybody else bootlickers, but they have a boot down their throat. Yes,
those who prefer security over liberty deserve neither.
Yep.
And that's
they crave. They crave that subjugation.
Yep.
They do. What up, Jason Holt? Hail, brother. Hail, sir. Good to see you,
Hail,
my friend.
Jason
Good to see you.
Holt.
Good to see you, man. Yeah, that I don't have I just got water tonight. Yeah,
You're
the
right,
rest of the
Clone
world.
Geek. Hail
Yeah.
Argentina. Hail
Hang on.
Argentina.
Yeah, let me do something. Go ahead.
Argentina was under the left's oppression for like 40 years, and they just elected in homeboy who he ain't playing games. He ain't playing games. He's just, they'll be like, well, he's a little unhinged. No, he's just telling the truth how more people need to. You should be pissed off. These people are attacking you, and they're attacking your family and your way of life. You should be mad.
Yeah, why wouldn't you at this point? When they've deconstructed all your culture, all your mythos, all your lore. Why
Your
wouldn't you be upset?
grandparents, your grandpa ran towards fucking machine guns on a beach in France to fucking hand you a better fucking world, and these people are coming in and pissing all over that. You should be fucking mad. And then those people with machine guns escaped to Argentina. See how it's all full circle?
Yep.
You should be mad. You should be fucking pissed off.
Why, yeah. I'm sorry. You're all being serious. I'm fucking stoned.
Hey, why not?
This is why we work so well.
For myself.
This is why we work so well together. Cheers.
CJP says we are normal men. We are just innocent men. Damn right.
Yeah.
Kamala Harris Faulkner. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Glenzer. What's up, buddy? Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's they don't want normal functioning men though. And yeah, Candace is having a fucking problem with Ben.
A lot of people are having a problem with Ben right now.
Oh, because he's a fucking piece of shit.
Well, he's exactly what he complains at. Like, he'll complain about what the left does, but like he's acting like an unhinged leftist about Ukraine, about Israel right now. And I get, okay, he's Jewish, he's got family in Israel, friends. I get that, but it's basically you're with me or you're a piece of shit attitude right now. He's attacking Tucker Carlson. He's attacking everyone. I mean, like, he went on stage and was talking shit about Candace Owens, and he didn't realize he was being recorded. So it just kind of showed. It's like, why wouldn't you say that? If you think she's a disgrace, why wouldn't you tell her that, homie? Like, it just showed a lot about his character. Like, I don't think Ben has a lot of close friends.
No.
Yeah, tall bat. Ben got caught running his mouth. Yep.
Is there a clip of that? Let me look it up.
It should be Twitter. Formerly known as X, formerly known as Twitter. Yeah, he didn't think Candace was going to hear that. And someone recorded him on their camera phone, and he's sitting there talking shit to his coworker. He's actually not, like, a lot of people just associate Ben Shapiro with the Daily Wire, but, you know, he might be like their main personality, but he's like not one of the CEOs or anything. He's a host there, just like anyone else. Just like Candace, just like Michael Knowles. Matt Walsh. You want me to search for it?
Yeah, I'm trying to look for it right now. I just looked up Ben Shapiro hot mic and it came up from 2021.
Hot.
And I don't know what that was. But I think the whole thing with Ben like melting down over Candace Owens it's like, it is, like you said, it's telling of who he is as a person. and how much of a facade he puts on. And then when he puts his wig on and he goes and he pretends to be a girl and he's Brett Cooper. I think that's funny too.
So here it is. Share the screen. Here we go.
The question is about Candace Owens. I think her behavior during this is disgraceful. Without a doubt, I think it's yeah, and she still works for my company. And I think she's been absolutely disgraceful. I think that her faux sophistication on these particular issues has been ridiculous. It's not faux sophistication, it's ridiculous. Everybody can see the moves that she's making and the things that she's saying, and I find them disreputable.
That's coming from someone who called Nikki Haley his spirit animal.
Oof.
He says Trump isn't qualified for the job, even after he loved riding the momentum of Trump's first term. And then he says Nikki Haley's his spirit animal. And really, like, he was for DeSantis at first, but then switched to Nikki Haley because he's just a neocon. That's what he likes.
Yeah.
He likes Mitt Romney. He likes, John McCain.
Like, okay, when McCain ran against Obama, that was the most difficult election. I think I voted for the libertarian in that one, honestly. I don't think I voted for McCain. I think it was Ron Paul. Yeah, because I voted for Ron Paul in 2000. Yeah, it was 2008 because it was the end of Bush's first term or second term, because I'd voted for that asshole twice because I wasn't going to vote for Al Gore or fucking John Kerry.
We didn't have, dude, back then we didn't have options.
No,
which is like watching the Republican debate. I'm just looking like this used to be without Vivek there. This is the best we'd get is DeSantis versus Nikki Haley versus Chris Christie. Like, Jesus.
Yeah. And I've even told you, I was like, man, I was embarrassed voting for fucking Bush twice now in retrospect. You know what I mean? Like, but what was the fucking alternative? Al fucking Gore, like, Man Bear Pig is real. I'm super duper cereal, you guys. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, and they were denying the election in 2000. Remember that went to the fucking Supreme Court. These motherfuckers been denying elections since denying elections. And then you're an election denier. You're a domestic terrorist. Shut up. Yeah. Like, goddamn, like, that's fucking ridiculous.
It's because there's no truth but power.
Yep, that's the only truth is power, and that's the only language these fucks understand is that fucking power, and that's what rules everything except for cash. Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money, dollar bill, y'all. I grew up on the crime side of New York. Then never mind. We're not going. We won't go into the entire Wu-Tang catalog or anything tonight. That is a great fucking song, though. That is. Yeah. In my head, I was trying to improv lyrics. I'm like, none of them are appropriate for the air.
Yeah.
Like, none of them. Maybe on Rumble. I don't know. Maybe behind a paywall. Who knows? Oh,
good
shit.
times, man.
I know. This has been fucking great, though. We don't get to do this. Like, we were talking about that off air. It's like, you and I just haven't done a stream together like this, and I don't know how fucking long, bro. It's been it's
last
been
time
forever.
was one of the day streams. Yeah,
it was
like one of the morning streams. Yeah, been a long time.
I know it's fucking just a hey, we're gonna do it. All right, I haven't even said it yet. We're gonna do a Black Friday stream, bud. Here we are, me and Tone Deaf, bud.
One thing is, like I like the holidays, I really do.
Yeah.
But like, if you have to work through the holiday, you're not doing much, or just the days radiating around the holiday, the day before, the weekend after. There's not, like, the world kind of slows down which is nice, but it can be a little boring too. So to have a little content to like get you through,
Yep.
that it's always nice, you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, that's, I didn't have time to do any videos today. I was busy, and it was like I wanted to do something, and you and I have been talking about this off and on. So it was yeah. Clone Geek, that was when I was like 16. I got that out of my system early.
The shanking was in honor of Black Friday. Wonderful.
Hey, bud. They stabbed Derek Chauvin in honor of Black Friday, fella. In honor of all the petrol huffing fellas. Those
Yeah.
them bad.
Black Panther 3's up in the air, so they had to go with Black Friday.
Oh, God damn it. But yeah, I think that's we could put a bookend on it with that. Oh, okay, CJ. He dropped the
Yeah,
Metal
go
Gear.
check out CJP's
Yes.
channel.
Normally I say the links are in the description, but I didn't really do much of a description on this. I just wrote, me and Tone Deaf are going live. Then I put a couple hashtags in it. I was real fucking lazy. I used the old ass thumbnail. I was just sitting here. I was like, I woke up. I was playing Madden. I got high and passed out in the recliner for a few minutes. I'm like, I was like, I will just use the old thumbnail. I think it's still on here. I'm terrible. This is why I'm at where I'm at.
Wonderful. Yeah, so again, it's been a fun show. It's been great hanging out with all of you. Etep's gonna be over on Scotty's stream tomorrow.
Yep. Be over on Sporking tomorrow. I think it's 7. Something like that. 7, 8 o'clock. Yeah, I'll be over there.
And over at Draven's, we're going to be streaming the Survivor Series, which I don't even know why. Like, I want to see it because it's Survivor Series, and like, I don't know when to give up hope, but also like, there aren't many WWE shows we've seen since at least since I started kind of watching the pay-per-views again. At least, what was that, Royal Rumble 2022, 2021?
Yeah. It's been a year or so.
2021, I think they were still in the stupid Thunderdome or something. So I don't know. There haven't been many good shows, but I keep hoping for one. I keep hoping, with the Endeavor acquisition, things will get a little better with Vince McMahon out of creative. But yeah, maybe it's just gonna take another decade. That's what I'll tell myself. But maybe it'll just take more time. But I'm hoping the Survivor Series is a good show. Thing is, it's worth it when you've got friends to watch it with. And if it is bad, we can shit on it together. So I think that's around 8 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, anything else?
I'll have we'll be back to Tales from the Crypt commentaries next week. We are going in Raw, and then no pay-per-view watch this Tuesday because I'm going on Tommy's toy stream on Tuesday night because we're talking about Star Wars. And then if Trina's back up and running, we won't do Holy Shit News next week because we're going to watch Monster Squad over there on Real Hara. But we will have live Tales from the Crypt commentaries for episode 3 and 4 of season 2 with Leon from Words of Paradise, and we'll be back to video production next week with I'm going to do another review of Friday the 13th part 5, and we're going to dig a little bit deeper into it now that we've done the main review and talked about the regular stuff. I did that a couple years ago, but we're going to do a deep dive into Friday the 13th part 5. Jesus, I didn't mean for that to rhyme. But yeah, I'll do that next week. That'll be the big video next week. And I've got a couple more I'm thinking about doing, but I'm going to talk. I have a video about Brian Fuller I'm going to work on too, because those allegations against him, the sexual misconduct, came out last month. And I still want to talk about that because I was set to do like a video, what I wanted to see from the Crystal Lake show. And now it's like my expectations are just like, great,
Yes.
So, But that's all coming up, folks. And it's not all doom and gloom. No, there'll be more movie series reviews and stuff like that. The upbeat horror stuff, and going in Raw, not this coming Monday, but Monday, December 4th is going to be a G.I. Joe centric episode, and Slasher McSplitter will be joining us. And I have 2 more hiss tanks to open up. So yeah, I think we're about good for the evening, Tone. And Clone Geek said he thank you. He says this was a really good live stream. Thanks for having it, dude. You're welcome. Like I said, Tony and I, we're going on 4 years, Tone. This January will be 4 years. This is our 4-year anniversary,
basically. Yeah.
That night to open the show, when we do our anniversary on Monday night, going in Raw in January, I'm going to start out with Tony, 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 the anniversary song. It'll be a montage of videos and pictures of us together in Vegas.
Hell yeah.
Oh shit.
And whoa, you know what? This year, January. Okay, so the first Monday in January, that's when I started back in 2000. Well, the first Monday in 2024 is going to be on January 1st. So first day of the year. That should be fun if we get, can all make it. So
oh yeah, that'll be a
times.
blast. I'm old and I'm a parent, so like New Year's Eve is pretty fucking tame for me. I haven't made it to midnight the last couple of years.
Well, the thing too is New Year's is exactly a week away from Christmas, so there's going to be a Monday on Christmas too.
Yep.
That might be interesting.
Yeah. So
that might be a Christmas show.
I don't know if we'll do one of those. I'll be in Detroit, so I don't know if you guys can do it. I'll be in Detroit, but if you guys want to do a show that night, you're more than welcome to.
Christmas.
I don't know if everyone's going to do a show on Christmas Eve. We'll do Christmas in Detroit live from the bar. I'll do one of those because we'll be at a bar. So on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, that could be fun.
We go every Christmas Eve to the bar because it's my brother-in-law's birthday, and that's what we do. We go out like at like about 1-2 o'clock and bar hop a little bit. So
can I just real quick before we go,
yeah.
Blenzer, Gunther is like a lot of what I like about pro wrestling, and Miz is like almost everything I hate about pro wrestling. So I hope Gunther beats his ass. If that happens, that'll be not just defeats him, but I mean, I hope he whoops Miz's ass. That'll be a good show.
Yeah, I hope it is. I'll jump in there after because it'll probably still be going on after Scotty's show. So I'll probably jump in after that so I can at least probably catch the main event or semi-main.
Sweet.
Hell yeah. So, dude, thank you for doing this with me, bro. This was fun, as always, bro.
Yeah, ditto, man. Thank you.
Hell yeah. Thank you, everybody in the chat, man. We appreciate you guys, all the channel members out there. And if you're on the fence about joining, join back up, man. We're about to kick this shit into high gear for the channel members again. Yeah, man. And we got a lot more shit coming on the channel. So just stay tuned. And yeah, we're rolling into year number what? Fucking 5. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're already in year number 5. Oh my God. Where the fuck does the time go? That's it. We need to end the stream. I need a drink. Oh shit. Thank you everybody for joining us, man. I'm Etep Wakuian. This is Tony Tonedeaf. We've been right here with yous from the Place to Be Reviews. We don't see you. Have a great day, a pleasant tomorrow. We will catch you on the next one. And remember, it's always better to burn out than fade away.